Have these visions in my mind of a Have these visions in my mind of a gift that's still inside. Can't believe my eyes. The moment has arrived. My time is right now. Tell me, are you ready for me? Better get ready for me. I'm here for the taking. I am coming. My time is right now. Tell me, are you ready for me? Better get ready, 'cause I'm coming.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Raw and Uncut. First, I want to thank everybody for joining in. We only got a couple of rules. The first rule is to like, comment, and share. The second rule is to like, comment, and share. And the third rule is to like, comment, and share. We have an amazing show for you. But before we get started with our guests, I definitely want to do a quick shout out. A couple of, 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, 11 years ago, we lost one of the greatest entertainers today. So we want to say rest in peace to the GOAT, the King of Pop, Michael Joseph Jackson. Definitely one of my heroes. All right, now that that's over with, we have an amazing show for you. Tonight is going to be crazy. I'm just here to make sure nobody is going to kill each other after the show. Tonight's topic is black women who feel unprotected by black men. Tonight, I have some amazing guests. I don't have to introduce her. She is a normal, a regular, anything controversial. My sis is on the show, so we want to shout out to my sis Portia, who's here with us. Y'all already know. So she has a tag team partner on tonight. And she's dope. Her mind is amazing. She's a consultant, but she also stands up for women's rights. Shout out to my sis Brittany Daniels for being with us on tonight. And he's in a handicap match. But he could carry himself. And where I need to get in, I'ma come in. So shout out to my bro Ishmael Hall, who's on here tonight. So we're talking about black women who feel unprotected by black men. Portia and Brittany has had a lot to say about this subject on their personal posts. I definitely thought it was something that I didn't want to go back and forth commenting with. I thought this was show worthy. Brittany, since you're a guest, it's your first time here, talk to us. What makes you come up with this conclusion that black women are unprotected by black men?
Black women are not just unprotected by black men, but we are the most unprotected people in America. When you look at the class and how the system of America works, you have white men who are on top. White women come right after that. We all know that black men are brutalized in the street. They are victims of racism and oppression, just like we are. But however, when you are a black woman, you have to deal with being black, which is a whole thing in itself. And you also have to deal with sexism of being a woman. And as black women, we are, objectified and sort of demonized and abused by our own men who I feel like should protect women. When I walk down the street and I see a group of black men, I should not feel unsafe. I should feel like I'm a black woman. These are my brothers. These are my uncles, my fathers. Um, and in a sense, we are not protected. Catcalled, objectified, our body parts, like we are looked at as just like symbols of sex. And we are good enough and valued to bear your children and clean your homes and cook your dinner, but you don't see the true value. And I feel like the true worth of a black woman is not seen in the black male culture. You see it in music, you hear it in music, you watch it in movies. We are just the bottom of the totem pole, and it's time to stand up. And if we're gonna hold white people accountable, we also have to hold our men and our community accountable for what they partake in when it comes to black women. We see it every day. We've seen it in the last week. How many videos have we watched of black women being beat up and abused in the street by black men, and nobody's saving these girls? How many times do we stand up for abusers in our community and in our culture, and nobody is protecting the women on that other side? But yet we say, oh, we don't know if it's true, but that's not our business. But if multiple women are saying these things and we see these things on videos happening, why is nobody standing up to correct these men? Why is nobody coming to the defense of black women? And why do our names not get called when we talk about police brutality, and violence and racism? It's always the center focus is the man, but it's all black people, and it's time to hold everybody accountable.
All right, that was a very interesting point. I disagree with some of that, but I want to hear from my sister Port real quick because I know she gonna come hard. So before me and Ish gotta chew y'all up and spit y'all out, I wanna I wanna hear.
Talking about protecting black women, and here you go.
Yeah, come on, Jay. Come on, Jay.
I'm just saying, but go ahead, Porsche. I want to hear what you got to say.
Well, pretty much, Brittany said everything that needed to be said in regards to black women not feeling or being protected. I mean, it's evident because we're having a conversation about it. So the conversation in itself lets everyone know that black women are not being protected, are not feeling protected. Malcolm X said that we're one of the most unprotected groups in America.
He did say that.
We're underrepresented. And, you know, I have read a comment on Facebook one time where a black man said that black women should police brutality shouldn't be the only time that black women speak up for black men or when they love black men. And it's kind of like, damn, really? Because black women, 3, started the Black Lives Matter movement. So how are y'all, you know, how do you not feel like black women, we don't love you? You know, y'all come from us. It's just, I feel like Brittany, I don't feel protected in the street. One of the reasons why I cover my head because it sends a signal to men like, okay, let me chill. But why should I have to walk down the street and not feel protected when I see a black man? A black man. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like when black men see white women, they already know, you know, not to disrespect them. And why do black men know not to disrespect white women in the street? Because white women, they're men. Let it be known that if you disrespect their women, that there comes consequences. Do you understand what I'm saying? But where is that same urgency for black women? Oh, I'm asking.
Oh, that was a question?
But let me put this disclaimer out real quick because I don't want y'all to think that because black women are standing up on being unprotected, that means we don't value men, and now we're like turning into some like black men bashers. I have a father. I was raised by a black man who taught me to value myself, respect myself. I've never seen him abuse or disrespect my mother in certain ways. So it's not to say that we are. It's like we don't like men and we're bashing men. But it should not be that the only man I feel protected by is my father or the man I'm dating or my blood brother. You know what I'm saying? Like Those are the only three people, only three men that I feel like respect me, respect the woman I am, will defend me, go toe to toe for me, and burn the city down if something happens to me. But other than that, do Black women really get the respect that we deserve from our community?
Right.
So
And it's
disclaimer,
not,
it's not, we not bashing Black men because we love you. We wouldn't be in the streets fighting for you and screaming at the top of our lungs for justice for you if we didn't love you. But why don't we get that same love and respect?
and not only that, but we have all of the social injustices. You know, black men are not the only ones being, you know, brutalized by police, but somehow these movements are starting to center black men. And I am a firm believer that black lives can't matter until black women's lives matter. We have to
All
start,
Black lives.
we have to start centering black women's issues too. It was quick for people, and I'm glad that George Floyd's murderers got fired and prosecuted. But why is it taking such a hard time for Breonna Taylor's murderers to be captured? It's because black women are undervalued. We're undervalued and we're not protected. And and I'm not saying like in my past of doing activist work, and you know, a couple of years ago, it was very rare that you seen heterosexual straight black men in the forefront fighting for black women's rights. Now we've seen gay men in the forefront fighting for our rights, and you know, but rarely did we see, rarely did I see cisgender black men in the forefront, and that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Feel me? Like I done been, and I'm just gonna be keep it a whole $150. I done been raped by a black man. I done been abandoned by a black man. I have, and I love the black man, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't excuse his behavior towards me. You know, I have kids by a black man and was abandoned by a black man. I was abused by a black man. I am not, I don't feel protected by a black man at all, besides my brothers. And I'm tired of the, you know, the gaslighting when black women, you know, express that, yo, I don't feel protected. Here comes a black man. Oh, well, it's who you choose.
What about us?
Right. So why do, you know, I feel like if you're going to really be for this thing, if you really going to be for the movement of black women, just don't protect the black women that you are attracted to and you know, your family members. Protect all black women. And then I'm done.
You sure? I ain't wanna cut you off. Yo, Ish. Wait, hold on. Let me read this. What Pastor Jay said. I think it depends on the type of men you are around. Women are disrespected at an all-time high in certain spaces, but these things won't happen in front of certain type of men related to you or not.
But we can't, Dre. We can't even address that yet because we got.
Yeah.
Let me make an opening statement.
I'm gonna tell Dwayne to put that comment back up. But yeah. I definitely want your opinion, Ish. What talk to me.
So,
because you're married to a black woman.
I am absolutely married to a
educated black woman.
An educated, beautiful black woman. That's but right. All women are beautiful though, you know, so I don't want to get hit there. But I want to address a few things first, right? It'll be remissive of me if I don't acknowledge Portia and you saying, you know, openly and very transparently that you've been raped and abused by black men. That should never happen. My heart goes out to you, but not just in a sympathetic way, but also in a way that we should call for justice for that, right? So I want to first and foremost acknowledge that because we can't breeze past that, right? Second thing I want to acknowledge, Britt, you said, you know, you don't feel safe walking down the street, you know, and there's a black man there. That shouldn't happen, right? And that's not a feeling that you should feel, and that's not a vibe that you should feel. One thing I want us to be careful with is the generalization. Individual situations is not a reflection of black men. When we refer to black men, you're talking about an entire group of people, right? We have to be very careful not to generalize. We as a black people are often generalized, men and women, and stereotyped every day in society, right? In every single facet and every single system. To stereotype black men as not being protective continues to spread and influence this image that society sees us in, right? So when you think about, use an example, when you think about how society sees a black man and oh yeah, they're a drug dealer, they're a this, they're a hoodlum, they got their pants low, they got their this, they don't respect themselves because they're shooting themselves in their own community with black on black crime, which doesn't exist, and now on top of it, you see, they don't even respect their own women, they don't even protect their own women. So I think we have to be very careful not to generalize and continue to play into that stereotype that society sees us as. Another thing you said, Portia, you said the fact that we're having a conversation about it denotes that says that it's evident that it exists. Having a conversation about a thing doesn't denote that it's evident. It doesn't denote that the subject has validity, right? Trump says dumb things all the time, every day, zero validity, has no factual basis to it. And what happens? We get on social media, we talk about it, we laugh about it, we having a conversation about it. He said, what was it he said recently? He's the reason why Juneteenth is he said he's the reason why Juneteenth is celebrated.
It's popular.
It's popular.
It's the reason why people are talking about it.
It's clearly false, clearly has no basis. But what happens? We all talking about it, right? So talking about a thing, having a conversation about a thing doesn't denote its validity. Outrage should be present for Black women in every situation. When we're talking about injustices, when we're talking about police brutality, when we're talking about situations where women are being abused and raped, that outrage should be present, right? You'll never hear me say, oh, we shouldn't be outraged. No, we should be outraged. And guess who is outraged? I be outraged. Dre be outraged. How do I know? Because we talk about it. We had these conversations all the time about it. We get with our folks and we talk about these things. So when I think about the company that I keep, and I'm careful not to tread it, because it's not about, it's who you're around. It's not about that, because no matter who you're around, Black women should feel protected and safe, right? But when I think about the people I chill with, when I think about Dre, when I think about Angel, when I think about the dudes that I hang out with, these dudes ain't disrespecting women. They ain't doing it. And guess what? If one of us do it, guess who's checking us? One of us. We checking each other. Yo, that ain't cool. Yo, why you said that to your wife? Well, don't do that, man. Like, we'll check each other. So it's not a reflection of men, in terms of generally speaking. So I want us to shift the conversation to say there are times where Black men do not protect women. There are times when Black men are not outraged by things that happen with Black women. That's a fair statement to say. It is not a safe, it's not a safe or true statement to say all men.
Look at y'all. Wait. I'm gonna let y'all attack, because I see the Legion of Bill Moken Animal ready to.
I gotta finish my opening statement though, Dre. I could have jumped in and attacked.
I know, that's what I was saying.
I could have jumped in and attacked,
and then y'all could go ahead and attack. Let
him finish. I'm ready to have a stroke.
Go ahead, Ish. Go ahead.
And then I think Portia, you said it, or Brittany, excuse me. One of you said, Black lives can't matter until Black women lives matter also. Completely agree, man. When we talk about Black lives matter, and that is inclusive of Black women, that is inclusive of LGBTQ population, that is inclusive of it all. So listen, you ain't gonna get no arguments from me there, but I do want us to be careful how we shift the conversation. Feel free, pounce.
So you want to go
let me
first?
Wait.
Who going first?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, because you had your hand first. Go ahead.
When we talk about generalizations and we talk about stereotypes, I want us to be very careful of that language, because now we sound like, when we say Black Lives Matter, we sound like the All Lives Matter argument, right? Because that's a straw man argument that you're using. Basically, when we're saying Black women don't feel protected, and you're like, your straw man argument is that it's not all Black men. We understand that it's not all Black men, but all cops are not killing Black people. I know cops in my family. I have cops that go to my church. They're not killing Black people. However, we're still in the streets wanting to defund and abolish the police.
Not we. No, not we. It's the ignorant ones, because I don't think we should. I don't think we should defund nor abolish the police.
When we talk about
that's another show. Yeah, that's another show.
Yeah,
that's another
when we talk about defund the police, it's just literally taking funds from the militarization and putting it into other things that can help the community
like schools,
be more safe and
right.
protect the children, the women. That's
Right.
what we talk about. So we're not saying get rid of police and law enforcement shouldn't have a job. However, when you say that, oh, but not all black men, because not the 5 black men that I know, it does not mean that you know all black men. And when we look at the stats, black women are 5 times more likely to be abused and go through a domestic violence, whether it's physical, mental, psychological abuse. And 92% of abuse of black women comes from black men. I live with a mother who was married to a black man at 18 and he beat her up. And nobody protected her. You understand what I'm saying? Not her family that she went to. Everybody told her to stay. It's okay. So when we say black women are not protected as a whole, we're not talking about you and your group of friends. And I think that we tend to take this argument so personally that, like, when black women are speaking up on social media, when black women are speaking up with the issues that really plague us as a group of people, it's like now everybody's feeling personally attacked because nobody wants to be called.
Is that not the stance that you and Portia are coming from? Is your stance not also personal?
Well, our
stance is not. It's for black women. It's for black women who we see, our sisters who share these stories with us, our family members who we know who have been abused. Portia has been abused.
Mm-hmm.
There are predators that are well aware, in church, out of church. We all know some predators. Whether you want to admit that they're a predator or not, we all know predators, and we all have a tendency to protect predators. Black women, we protect our predators too, because we know what the system does to black men. So we don't send our abusers to jail. We don't report our abuse. We don't call the cops when we're abused. We don't do these things because we know what the institution of America does to black men. So black women have a tendency to protect their abusers also from the system. So let's be very clear that we're not calling for men to go into the system and bashing men. We're not generalizing men either. But what we're saying is, as a group, and when you look at it as a whole, black women, it's an issue with black men not protecting their women. We are not calling out you and Dre and your 5 other friends.
Well, wait. So no, hold on, Portia, hold on. I want to read this comment. So Overseer Robert Jordan says, no matter how intelligent one's arguments sound, there is clearly a fault in Ish's statements. You can't tell a woman who has been raped and abandoned, who just communicated a deep hurt, not to generalize behavior. Hold on. Remove that comment. We got to it. Here's my issue. I always feels like when it comes to this generalization argument, there's a double standard. Because I saw a post where a man openly put his preference and says he did not want to date black women because he felt they were ghetto or ratchet. I saw a bunch of black women. Attack him for his preference. Because of course I was waiting. Hold on. I was waiting for the eye rolling to come. Because what happens is women like to generalize when stating a point. But when a man generalizes, that's when I see this on Facebook every day. I actually just saw this the other day. So when Overseer Jordan says Isha's statement is false, that's not true. Because what he did was he empathized with Portia first. Hold on. He let her know that should not have happened, and a black person should not have done that to her. And he apologized as a black man in the black community and said, I'm sorry that happened to you. Hold on, Portia. I'll let y'all talk for like 20 minutes. Let me get my point across, and then it's back to y'all. Then, not only did he say that, but then what he says is, it's not every man, and it's not. Every man is not the black man that y'all making them out to be.
Every white person is not racist, but yeah, we.
No. And that's the thing. No. Nobody. Okay. Every movement is not the same. I can't speak for what these other activists are saying concerning white people or the police. I'm only held accountable for how me and my team move. And Ish is a very vocal part of my team. And we are not out there calling out all police. Why? Because I'm very close with Pastor Leonard Cox. I'm very close with Pastor Nick Morgan. I'm very close with Minister Jamel Clark. These are all amazing cops. I'm very close with Elder Romar Freeland. These are all African American cops who have not only served the hood, but they're pastors, they're leaders in the church. Some of them are fathers, and some of them have openly spoken out against cops. I don't do all of them the same. I've had my own experiences with black women. So if I would have put my wife in the same box as what I've experienced, then I wouldn't be married. Because of what I've dealt with black women, I should have been dating. I should have married a Spanish, a white. You know what I'm saying? So I get what Ish is saying, but does that negate how you feel? No, it doesn't.
It does. Yes, it does.
No, it
Everything that you said ain't had a damn thing to do with black women feeling protected.
No.
Not at all.
What I said was
it don't.
Generalize it. Because there are black men who would protect you. Ask me how I know.
When I was being raped by a black man, there was nobody else. When I went to go tell, you know what was told to me? Well, what did you do? Maybe you should have wore your skirt. What did you have on?
Yo, and I hate whoever told that to you. Like, that's crazy.
But it's done now, and the damage is done. The damage is done.
But it's still crazy.
The apology, I appreciate it, but it's not needed now because the scar is there. So for a black man, if I'm telling you, if you telling me, hey, do you feel protected? And I say, hey, I don't feel protected. Well, why you don't feel protected, Queen? I don't feel protected because I got kids by black men who have abandoned me, don't give a damn whether we eating or not, okay? And the same ones that called me a queen will call me a bitch in a heartbeat. I was raped by a black man. Hold on. I was raped by a black man. And when I went to go tell a black man that I was raped, I was told, well, maybe you don't wear your dress down. Well, next time, just go out early instead of holding the abuser, the rapist.
So since hold on, since we want to go, since we want to go down that road,
we can.
Hold on, let's do it. I was molested at the age of 10. Do you know I had to tell people that I lost my virginity for fear of being looked at as not as masculine?
But Dre, bro, we're having a conversation.
Hold on, no. What I'm saying is, the same way women can feel unprotected, so can men.
But we never have negated the fact that y'all don't feel protected.
The conversation tonight is, do black women feel protected? And we are telling you, we don't feel protected. And what y'all are saying to us is, well, not all black men.
Right, because guess what? There's abusive women too.
Can your crew
There's
save
abusive women too.
Can your crew save the whole world? And I appreciate y'all. I'm glad y'all some good, upstanding, godly black men. But that doesn't erase the 5,000 damn black men in the world that we don't feel protected by. Y'all are just this much of the large. You're not even a part of the larger problem, which is we don't feel protected. Okay? I don't give a damn how good a black man is. The fact that a black man took something from me, I forever look at y'all like, nigga, please.
So you just openly and you just proved our argument.
I proved our argument that I don't feel protected by y'all.
No. You proved our argument you proved our argument that you're generalizing because you openly
yes,
just said,
I am. Yes, I am. You think I'm hiding?
That's what we're saying.
How many black men?
I mean, what you're saying?
Can we just
on the street right now?
What you're saying conflicts with what Brittany said, though.
And all of that.
Okay.
Ain't no black man taking out the time to be like, yo, chill out, yo, let that. And I could have my whole damn baby with me. Yes, I'm generalizing y'all. Yes, I am.
So can we just like the conversation is and in the way it's being presented, it's like this is an argument or this is like you guys trying to negate that black women are not protected. When the conversation from black men, especially
I'm not trying to
when
negate
we
that.
have to look at like
Brittany, I'm
during
not trying to negate that. And nothing in my
right,
statement.
but listen to what I'm
we
saying.
would never negate
My
that.
statement negated that.
So I think that you guys, but what you're doing is trying to put up this argument of that. Well, you can't say black men don't protect black women because then you're lumping us all in one category. When the conversation needs to be, you know what? I have a wife, I have daughters, I have nieces, nephews. What can I do to ensure that when they leave my presence and when they're not in the presence of me and my family and the people that I know have the same values as me, how can I make sure that everybody or everywhere they go that we really make sure that their voices
We ain't
are
get
heard
there
and that
yet.
they feel protected, that they feel seen.
No.
But
We ain't
let
even
me
get
just
there
say
yet.
this.
We can't get there.
Right, but let me say this.
Until
you guys are not even fostering. You guys are not even fostering the environment to even say like, you know what, you're not even trying to hear the conversation. Let me just take it another.
Who's
Let
not
me
trying
take
to
it
hear the
another step further.
conversation? Wait, who's not trying to
I
hear the
think that
like?
because you guys are like saying that like you start with this argument of generalization and like, oh, not all black men, not all black
My
men.
argument
Like,
started. My argument started with recognizing what Portia said, right? Because if we didn't recognize that,
right,
then
but
there'd be
like
another
once
issue.
you add the but, you go into negating her
I was
argument
careful
and
not to say
negating how
but.
she feels.
I didn't say the word but. I was careful not to say but. I even wrote down what I said. I got it
Yeah,
here.
but you went into okay, sir. I'm not gonna like. I'm not here to argue.
Yeah, me neither.
Let me.
I am.
I went away.
Damn it,
right.
I try to extend grace. I try to extend grace and respect to everybody. I went away to school. Okay, I went to Hampton University at HBCU. I went to school, a predominantly black university.
Respect.
There are great black people on this campus. You go to school, you have black women, black men, the Divine Nine, and you get to know all these different people. And you see all the heads of organizations and the deans of their line and president of this fraternity and president of this fraternity. And in my experience there, I really opened myself. I was older than a lot of the people because I went at a much mature age than most people go to college and go away. And opening myself up to some of the girls in my dorm and just allowing a safe space. The stories that you hear of these girls being molested and abused by people that are older than them on campus, men that are working at the school, and when they go to counsel to say this is what happened to me, this is my story, I was here and I was not safe, I'm on campus where I should be protected and I'm not. Do you understand that the school buried these cases of thousands of, there's a blog I can
I'm
send
sure
you
they did.
of
Yeah.
thousands of students.
Yep.
Thousands of students who have been molested by black men who are upheld by these black organizations, fraternities. And I'm not speaking out against fraternities. Great. If you're part of one, wonderful. However, when you look at the president of the school and the way he buries these cases and these boys and men who are, because they're over 18, these young men who you're grooming to go into the world now think they can get away with this type of abuse because the school and the heads of these organizations have protected them. So it starts and it happens whether your kids are with you or not. So when you prepare your girls to go away to school, you prepare your girls to, go out into the world, they're gonna face predators and abusive men. And how are you gonna change the trajectory and make the world better for your children to go out into the world, for your girls? So you can't sit here and say not all men and not in my presence. But what happens when a woman is not in your presence? What happens when your wife is not in your presence?
So let me ask you this, because you brought up a very valuable point, Brett. That is an amazing point. It is definitely something that we've seen. It's definitely something where black women have gone through this. I'm not negating that. Black women have gone through this with men of power, and because the school fears, you know what, we might lose funding, or maybe it's somebody who helps fund the school.
Yep.
They don't want to make this a big issue. So you hear this? No, you're 100% right. We hear it all the time of them settling outside of court because we rather it not go to court. That way the media doesn't get wind of it. So now
the Title IX to the president, and he's like, "We'll deal with it," and then nothing happens. And these girls are blackballed on campus by these male-dominated organizations and fraternities. The Qs, the Noops, the outfit. Like, you gotta call them out. They are protecting these predators and abusers, and they go out into the world and think that it's okay to continue that behavior. So now it becomes a pattern for them because they've gotten away with it from jump.
All right, so let me ask.
I raped a girl. She told me no. I still did it. I got away with it. I still graduated with honors. My fraternity still rocks for me. I still have the backing of my school, the backing of my fraternity. I have all these recommendation letters from people that know what I did, but that they don't care. So now that behavior continues. Do you understand how that is a black men problem because black men are not holding these other black men accountable?
That's the perpetuation of a rape culture against black women.
Our culture promotes rape culture. Everything you listen to, women are objectified. We protect it happens generation after generation. Rapists in our families are protected. We tell our 6-year-old daughters, don't walk around Uncle so-and-so with shorts on. You know Uncle so-and-so the predator. So instead of checking Uncle so-and-so, you tell your daughter that she's 6 and she can't wear shorts because the man is going to objectify her body. When the problem is not your 6-year-old daughter wearing shorts, it's the man in the family that's the problem.
Right, so that, first of all, I want to get to that point, but there is a question I want to ask. First of all, thank you for everybody that's tuning in. This is an amazing conversation. I'm getting the energy that I wanted. This is why I picked who I picked, because I knew. I know you did. I know you did. This is why I picked who I picked, because I knew the energy was gonna be. I knew the conversation was gonna be intense. But all of those that are watching,
I need some liquor, Dre. You I can take a commercial break so I can
all those that are watching on Facebook, can you please share this? This is a conversation that has to happen. We only have about 20 minutes left, so I want to pose this question. And I want to ask. So Portia and Britt, you guys mentioned about women taking the forefront of the Black Lives Matter movement and the women protecting black men, which I'm not negating. Me being out there protesting, I see it all the time. Actually, Ish could tell you a lot of our team is women who are part of the cause. Portia, you already know how we get down when it comes to the cause. Brittany, I see what you're doing out there in VA and your post and how you're educating us on different things. So we definitely respect the queens that are out there doing what they do. My question is, so in stances like this, since we're talking about rape and the culture of it in the black community, my question is this.
Starts
most of the time, women...
with the who?
Wait, what you said?
Starts for the church though, so we ain't got enough time to really get into like the root of it.
Oh yes, we do.
Yes, we absolutely have time.
Yes, we do. Go ahead.
I definitely believe we have to do a part 2, but I do want to touch on that a little bit. But before we touch on that, I do want to ask the ladies a question, and I'm only asking you because we need the female point of view concerning this. So with you seeing the women taking the front lines, you have Tamika Mallory and a bunch of others that are taking the front lines of advocating for the men and women who are brutally killed by officers. When it comes to what you guys are talking about, because Porsche talked about her personal testimony, which I appreciate you sharing, because all the years I've known you and as close as we are, I never knew that. I never knew that. So even you sharing that on this platform we definitely commend you because it does open up a conversation. I want it to be clear that I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with what the ladies are saying, but the name of the show is Raw and Uncut. So I'm the host, so I have to play devil's advocate. I just had to let that be known because I don't want nobody in my inbox or nobody questioning my wife asking what kind of nigga did she marry if he okays rape. I didn't. So I just wanted to put that out there. And I have daughters that I'm raising. I have nieces. I have sisters. So what I want to ask is, do you think, Portia, if you would have, and Brett, you can answer this right after her from a general point of view. If you went to someone, as far as the man, and he would have started a movement to, do you think if a man leads a movement against the rape culture, the response or the results would be different?
Definitely, I would have thought the response would have been different.
Okay.
The response would have been different.
And why is that?
Why? Because I would have felt protected, and I would have felt like my life mattered. That someone took I matter, I'm valued, I'm worthy of protection. Because mind you, I didn't have that luxury of having a father in the home. You understand? My brothers were doing their own thing. You feel me? So I didn't have that luxury of having that protection. That's why I'm so combative. That's why I'm so confrontational. That's why I'm so aggressive, because I that is me protecting me. My aggressiveness, my combativeness is the spirit of my father, or what my father should have been for me. That's what I am to myself. So had a black man, when I got raped, you understand? And it wasn't just one time of being raped. It was several times. You understand what I'm saying? That I was violated. My body was violated. And then I was dehumanized. You understand? I was told, oh, well, maybe you promiscuous. The church will make me believe that I'm promiscuous, because, I want attention, or, but I was started to be promiscuous because, nigga, I got raped. So I already got my message. This was my thing. I got raped, and being raped caused me to be promiscuous alongside of not having a father. But I said all that to say this: when I went to that first black man, you understand, who was the nigga that I was dating. See, had I went to him and he would have said, like, he could have told me, hey, where he at, let's beat his ass. I probably would have felt a little bit better. But to be blamed for being violated, a nigga that I lay down with every night, I can go out with, as I choose, as I please. But to be violated, to be raped, sodomized, to be exact, I was sodomized. And then to go home and tell the man that I'm intimate with, hey, this happened to me. And the first thing he say to me is, well, what was you doing? What you have on? Was you drinking? And I wasn't doing none of these things. A regular ass black woman living in America, trying to go to work, do her thing, take care of herself, got violated. And I get offended and I get very triggered when situations surrounded around black women, when it's a space created for me to say, hey, I don't feel protected. I don't feel valued by y'all. And the first thing black men do is center themselves. The first thing they do is, well, not me. No, it's you too. Because change behavior, that's what unlearning misogyny. You understand? Unpacking that hatred that black men have towards black women. Checking your damn friends when they disrespect. There's no way in the hell, and I'm not speaking against y'all, speaking about y'all, but there's no way in hell that I should be walking down the street with my little girl, who I'm trying to raise as a queen. I'm walking down here and I gotta I'm triggered because I'm automatically thinking about that night when I was violated. And then when I do walk past these brothers, hey, mama, all of that. So yes, if a nigga, let me stop saying nigga. I'm sorry.
That's my word. I just didn't have to use it. I didn't have to use it today.
If a black man, if I would have went and the black man would have said, yo, let's start a protest. Let's hold these black men accountable instead of taking your phone out, recording women, black women getting violated. And these black men wouldn't be generalized. But I was a victim twice. I was a victim by the nigga that raped me, and I was a victim by the nigga, you know, I was charged twice. I was violated twice, should I say, by a stranger and the man that I was sleeping with, both black. But y'all don't want me to get up here and generalize y'all? Come on.
All right, so Britt, what's your take? Jason is stupid.
I think that because we live in a society where the patriarchal structure is that, you know, men are the leaders, they're the heads, so we follow men, because, you know, God created Adam first and he was the leader, and I'm not gonna get into that because I believe that women were created after, and doing research, God really crowned the earth when he created the woman last. It was his final creation because that the woman was supposed to top everything off and kind of be that crown, that grace of God, his presence on earth. But we're not going to talk about that because I'm not here to minister tonight. But I will say that because men have a voice, and men are the head, and men kind of lead the in the aspect of men are the leaders of their homes, and they're just seen like that. I think that if a man would stand up and really say, you know what, we have to do better. We have to start holding everybody accountable. If you see it, whether you're in the street and you see a woman in the mall getting abused, you see a woman anywhere getting abused. I've seen men literally curse out their wives in the street and nobody is saying nothing, but black women like trying to curse out this man for this lady and protect her, when it should be like men telling this man to chill on your wife. If you see it in the street, if you see it happening, you should tell your brothers, the men, chill. Hey, don't do that. Don't disrespect that woman. Don't, you know what I'm saying? And I don't see that. I haven't seen a lot of men publicly standing against abusers and rapists. I've seen men arguing, and let's use R. Kelly for an example. Men get on here and are like, I'm still listening to R. Kelly. R. Kelly just a pimp. Oh, there's nothing wrong with what he did. And I'm just like, are you guys kidding? So I think that if black men were more vocal about rape culture and about the disrespect and the abuse of black women and really standing against domestic violence, I think that we could really have a movement. And I think black women would feel like at least there are men who see us, who hear us, and who will take up our cause the same way we take up the causes for black men.
All right, so let me say this.
I feel like I ain't talking like 18
No.
minutes.
I'm about to get.
I was timing it, Dre.
No.
It's been like 18 minutes though.
No. I'm getting.
Sometimes men need to just listen.
No. I'm getting to you right now. I just have to say this. So, Brittany said something as far as men protecting women. So I remember prior to this conversation even happening, I was sitting in the office with Pastor Jason, and we were having a conversation similar to this. And he shared a story about him. I don't know if he was upstairs or he said it while he was preaching, but he shared a story about he was with his father, and they were walking down the street to get something to eat. He saw a man getting ready to hit this woman. I assumed they was in a relationship or whatever, and he intervened and told this man, yo, I don't know what you about to do when you get in this house, but you not finna hit her in front of me. And sister, you don't have to let him hit you. So there are men that are doing it, and it's not negating how you feel. I can't speak for every man. I cannot speak for every man. But I will tell you this, and I mean this. I was playing devil's advocate before, but I really want y'all to hear my heart. I don't know why God has me doing these conversations, but it is an eye-opener. Because you're forcing us to pay attention to something that was overlooked. Because Portia and Brittany, you are 100% right. We are selfish in a way because we look at it as if, well, I'm not doing it. But at the same time, when we see it happening, are we holding other niggas accountable when it's happening around us?
But Dre, I gotta push that a little bit.
No. Go ahead.
Because we know ladies like to talk about my opening statement, right? Also, in my opening statement, I reference the company that I keep. I reference how if Dre is my company, ain't no way I'm letting him abuse or mistreat or misuse or downplay any black woman, whether his wife or sister. That we talked about that. I said likewise, he also won't allow me to do the same thing, right? So we talked about that. That was also part of the opening statement. I'm really having the intellect and the debater in me is having a hard time reconciling the different points because it seems as if on one hand, we're saying men need to step up and tell their friends to chill. That's what Brittany said, word for word. But on the other hand, we're also saying, oh, it ain't about you, and da da da. And Portia's point is, well, she said it openly. She said, you know what? I see all black men the same. Period. So there's two separate points here, right? Because it seems like what Britt is saying is, yo, I want to hear that you're stepping up. Brittany said, we want to, word for word, we want to know that at least there are men who see and hear us. That's what Britt said. And then we're openly saying, we see you, we hear you, here's what we are doing in the small circle. Britt said 5 friends. I got more than 5. Actually, you know what? Who knows what the real friend is? So let's say 5, right? So within my 5 friends, I'm doing that. And now we're using this platform, a part of this platform to show, right? Because maybe there's somebody on the live that's like, nah, yo, all niggas is trash. But now you're hearing eyewitness testimony from dudes that are saying, yo, we hold each other accountable. We ain't gonna allow stuff to happen. We're upstanding dudes in that way. We don't allow that to happen. We're fathers. We're married to black women. We got black children. Like, we ain't gonna let that happen. That ain't us. Like, bro, I cannot imagine me, Dre, and Drew, and all these people, right, walking past black women and just letting it happen. Bro, what? Are you kidding me? Like, nah. Period. It's not happening. But I feel as if y'all don't want to hear that.
I don't.
You don't. And you said, and I respect that. But it doesn't negate the validity that what we're saying is that, yo, we see y'all. I can't speak for every black man. But yo, you don't go unheard. You don't go unlistened to. You don't go unprotected. I will go to jail to protect the black woman. I'm not doing it. I'm like, yo, you're not gonna do that.
Go ahead, Britt.
I feel like we're not saying that you're not doing it, but what
You're not saying it. You're not saying that.
It's not something that we are publicly using our
Brittany, say you. You gotta say you, Brittany. You can't say we, because Portia already made.
Okay, but I'm never gonna. Portia has a story, and Portia has hurt and wounds that are open from black men who have caused these wounds. So it takes black men to really reconcile and wrap their arms around her for her to heal.
But I have a real question. How do we do that? But how do we do that? But how do we do that? Because we tried that.
Thank you. That's what we're waiting for to hear. How do we as black men heal our communities, heal the women who have been abused by other black men? And how do we now reconcile and say we can no longer have this? Use your voice for more than just your friends. Use your platforms at your rallies, on your Facebook. When you see these conversations happening,
y'all don't see my Facebook, do y'all?
I don't know. I'm just meeting you today, sir.
I know.
But I'm just saying that when you are at these rallies and when we're having these conversations around what really matters in our community, and when we have these seats at these tables and we're really talking about things with our community leaders and people who have bigger voices, are we putting all of the concerns of the community on the table? And are we really using our voices to defend everybody? Right. Are we really using our voices and our platforms and screaming in the streets to defend everybody and everything that goes on?
So
that's where it starts. It starts with everybody bringing awareness to this issue instead of black men being like, no, we're not doing it. Bring it. Be the voice. Be the voice. For the people that won't hear black women, they'll hear black men. they'll hear other black men say, I will not tolerate abuse. We have to protect black women. We have to protect black women. I don't know if y'all follow Mouse Jones, but he's one of my friends. Mouse Jones advocates for black women and black
Yes,
trans
he
and
does.
black gay and black.
Yes, he
He
does.
advocates for
Yes, he
black
does.
women and the black LGBTQ community like he is a woman. You understand what I'm saying? He is the one man that has a large scale platform that will advocate and constantly push the struggle of black women to the forefront. Why? Because he's not intimidated that his voice will get lost. He's not intimidated that he'll lose his masculinity and that the patriarchy will fall because he promotes and pushes black women.
So
That's
Portia,
really the problem.
so
It's
Portia,
really
Portia, let me ask you this. Because number one, I don't want to make your story seem like, because I know sometimes we have the tendency to do that. Like we try to put people and tell them when they should heal. So I want to ask you, what is it you would like to see? Being somebody that has experienced this, because you know me. Right. And you know, if I knew you around that time when that happened,
of course,
the goons would have been at homie crib.
Of course.
So my thing is now, because we at that moment we couldn't save you, but we could save you and Brittany now. And I'm just using y'all as examples because you guys are on the show. What would you like to see happen? What can black men do to prevent somebody else from feeling what you're feeling?
Now, I will say, I don't want Brother Ish to think that I don't see him. Like, I see you, brother. Like, I see you. But I've heard this thing all before. You see what I'm saying? So, and if I grouped you up, I apologize, but that's just what type of time I'm on right now.
No, we understand. We get it. I get it.
I'm not looking. That's selfish for me to look for an apology.
Right.
It ain't about me right now. Don't worry about it.
So what can we do to heal? How can
using
we
your
heal?
amplifying your voices, you know, expanding your platform, speaking up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you see, because I'm on my path towards healing now. You understand? I had to find my own way to heal from this shit. You understand? Because I couldn't find it in the church because I was too reminded of, you know, other things. You understand? So I had to take my own route. So I'm doing my own individual healing, and I appreciate everybody on the live for wishing me, you know, healing. But like Ricky said, like amplifying your voices, speaking up. We shouldn't, you know, don't just wait till a black woman is killed by police. You understand? Have rallies for black women who are being raped, because you'll be surprised how many women are being physically violated, emotionally violated on the low. We're scared to speak up because of this strong black woman narrative. And I feel like that's why a lot of times black men, the black men that I've encountered, felt like they didn't have to take up a pull. Or when I would tell somebody like, hey, like, don't touch me like that because I'm triggered. You understand? Like, well, don't do that to me because I feel some type of way. But because I have to be strong, I have to be aggressive, it makes black men feel like, well, you got it. Shit, beat his ass. But that's not what I want from black men. Speak up. If you see black women walking down the street and your homeboys or other black men, ain't even got to be your homeboys. Check strangers. If I'm walking down the street with my little girl or without my little girl, and you see a black man disrespecting me, check him. Bro, chill. Bro, don't do that. Hey, or you see him following me, check him. Don't wait until the damage is done. You see what I'm saying? So those are ways that can help, you know, because my perception of black men is already like, I don't see it. But for my daughters, for beautiful black women like Brittany, that God forbid that don't ever happen. Do that. That's how I can be like, oh, okay, I see y'all. I see y'all doing the work. Unlearning misogyny. You understand? You know how many and I felt like I was attacked because black men have this anti-blackness towards black women. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm skinny, I'm considered poor. You know, I ain't, you know.
Well, that's an African thing, actually. That's an African thing. I learned that. But go ahead, finish. No, that's an African, some type of African myth.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and I apologize for like making y'all feel like
again, Portia.
No, don't apologize.
You don't.
Like this really gets me triggered. Like it
should.
I really had a setback because now my homegirl hit me up like, "Yo, you good?" Because it gets me riled up.
It should.
Because I see him. I see him.
You know what's funny, Portia? Real quick. You know what's funny? The same way. Oh, not the same way, because it's not equivalent whatsoever. I see the comments. I'm trying to be very politically correct.
No. You know this raw and uncut.
Yeah, but so like the funny thing is that not the same way, because not the same situation, but how you get triggered, it triggers me when I hear this. It triggers me. It triggers me because I'm like, yo, like, one, niggas out here really doing girls dirty. That's one. Two, I'm like, yo, I was raised to be a certain type of dude. And I'm like, yo, like that triggers me. So it's like, so you don't have to apologize. So let me apologize for my defensiveness, right? Because I get triggered when I hear that, yo, dudes ain't doing girls right. And then I feel like, damn, yo, like, like girls are black women, excuse me, not girls. Black women are losing hope and losing faith in black men. And that's horrible. And it's real. It's the reality, but it triggers me. I'm like, yo, like, one, how do we get here? Two, how do we change it? And then three, how do we look past ourselves, right, to really influence that kind of change? And then also the change you speak about, like dudes telling their bros that, yo, bro, chill, nah, all of that, like, I'm sure that happens, right? But it happens in pockets. It happens in little sections, right? But how do we raise awareness to that? That's happening in little pockets. Because if it's happening to me and Dre and our crew, and it's happening with somebody down yonder, like, you know, people don't know. You know, people don't know. Like, I see dudes in the chat talking about, nah, yo, I would be upset too. So I'm like, it happens in pockets, but it's not mainstream media, right? When you think about,
but it's not, and that's another thing. So number one, I thank y'all as women for even opening our eyes, because let's be honest, sometimes we look at certain situations, and Brittany, you could correct me if I'm wrong, because you're the smart one. We look at situations and we say we're doing enough. But then we hear people like Portia's story, and I felt like it kind of irked me, but it didn't irk me at her.
Yeah,
but
right.
How is it that we can be so close to someone hurting? How is it we can be so close to someone that went through something like that, not tap into that?
Wow.
And our sister could be hurting right next to us. Could be sitting right next to us.
Right.
Now, if this conversation didn't happen, we wouldn't have knew Portia had all the wounds. So when people see her post, she looks like a bitter black woman.
And I am, because bitterness isn't bad.
No. But see, you're not bitter.
No,
and the thing is, we have to change our vocabulary and how we address things.
But bitterness is not bad, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like when I know when I come off, it does come off bitter because I am bitter, because I'm healing. And that all of that shit has to come up. All of it has to resurface because it's been repressed for
so long.
And some change. So yes, when I see black women and I see them by women, and I see them violate black women, or they come up under my post trying to gaslight me up, that I'm bitter, you know. But that doesn't mean I can't heal. Bitterness doesn't mean that I cannot. It doesn't mean that I can't. I'm healing, but I'm bitter right now, and that's okay. I have every right to be bitter because I was violated. You understand? But I appreciate the platform. And I really appreciate Brittany for being able to articulate it in a manner that I can only write it, because I'm a very passionate person. And when I feel violated, I be like, it don't come out right. So
that's me. That's me.
everything that I would write about, everything that she said about, you know, these men getting away with shit that they should be in jail for when it comes to black women. That's what that's what it is. But it just came out like, you know, so yeah, it if people think I'm an angry black woman, I am. I own it. It is what it is. But I'm not going to always be like that. But you got to understand my plight. And I'm not the only black woman that feels this way. It's other black women that have been violated, and you wonder why they so closed off and aggressive and combative. And, you know, they say black women aren't submissive. Some of us have really been through some real hard shit with black men, raising their kids and having to do it alone, and then being called all types of names, a welfare queen, all of these, you know, racial stereotypes that they have internalized and been indoctrinated with and then regurgitated back. And it's like, damn, I'm raising your baby. That's one. I'm on welfare. That's two. You're not helping. That's three. Then you violate my body. That's four. And I'm supposed to walk around here like, I love black men. Black men love me. And I'm done for the night. But
nah. So first of all, I want to thank all three of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to first of all, I'm about to block my wife because
no, don't block that queen.
She had too many hard amens. There was too many exclamation points.
Amen. Nothing we said. I was watching.
Nah, so I just want y'all to give some final thoughts before y'all leave, whether y'all want to leave some encouraging words or promote what it is that you're doing so people can know where to find you. Brittany, you go first.
I'm in Richmond, Virginia. However, I'm always in New York. I'm a stylist, image consultant, wardrobe consultant. I believe in uplifting black women. I live by the mantra, look good, feel good, be good. When women look good, we feel good about ourselves. I think that when we really internally look good, we feel good, what we put on, everything that's on the inside of us will radiate out on the outside. And you'll be good to yourself. You'll be good to other people. So that's my business. But I'm right now and really focused on what can I do to really nurture and uplift the girls that are coming after me. So look out for the things that I'm doing. I really want to go into the schools and really start with girls ages 14 to 18, just to nurture and cultivate value and worth, and really educating them on where they come from, not this indoctrination that they get in their everyday curriculum, but really who they are, where they come from, and that not to steer away from the fact that we don't need man, but really you can walk beside a man and have your own purpose and walk in your rightful place as royalty and be the woman who God has called you to be, and not be suppressed by a man. You can be submissive but not suppressed. And a man should only support you and uplift you just as much, if not more, than you uplift him. And those are the things I believe in. So those are the things that I really want to do, because I'm not always going to be 27, and there are girls that have to come after me. And we really have to cultivate and nurture our girls, because they birth our next generation.
Thank you. Push.
Y'all already know. I'm a proud nigga. I'm a proud, unorthodox black feminist. You can catch me on Facebook.
Can you tell them that you love Jesus too?
I'm playing. I love it. Don't do that, Dre, because I know why you did that. Don't do that to me, brother. Don't see how you just done messed up 2 of my minutes. Don't do that to me.
I got it. I'm sorry.
And I love Yeshua. Okay, I love Black Jesus. But yeah, so I'm a proud, unorthodox black feminist. I speak about social issues that are centered around black women, like classism, racism, sexism, sexual oppression outside the church and inside the church. Right now, I speak specifically about sexuality and Christianity in the church. You can check out my blog on medium.com under Shakur Fujo. That's the moniker that I write under. You can catch me on Instagram under Fujo Shakur, Facebook Fujo Shakur. I write daily. I post weekly. And I just want to tell all my young queens, old queens, y'all are not alone. It's okay to be angry. Our rage is justified. Our anger is justified. And I don't want you to ever get caught up in trying to rush your healing, because when a lot of bad shit happen to you, it takes time to process that thing, especially when you are a mother or you just doing day-to-day work. You understand? And I don't ever want you to think that you gotta walk around here and be something that you're not. It is what it is with me. You can love me or hate me. It's just what it is. But I'm always going to be for Black women. Always going to be for Black women. And I speak up for the LGBTQ community as well. I speak for my Black trans sisters as well. I know it's not a popular thing within the Christian community, but it is what it is, because Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. And thank you for the platform. I love everybody. Y'all know I talk my shit.
Ish.
Hey, let me talk to Portia. Now I'm playing. Yo, Portia brought it out of me. Yo, you gotta get me a Portia on the show again, man. So listen, I'm a.
Thank God Andrew wasn't here. Jesus.
I'm a community educator. So I have been an educator for a bunch of years. I'm in the charter school system. I'm now a school leader. So I focus on obviously educating our youngsters. I'm not for the current educational system, because the current educational system, 1, wasn't developed and set up for us. 2, doesn't support true development. 3, doesn't support independence and Black independence. So I'm actually in favor of redesigning our entire school system. That's 1. 2, a lot of my focus recently has been on supporting Black-owned businesses and pushing Black ownership. We talk about our community, but the corner stores is owned by the Arabs. The nail salons is owned by the Asians. The Chinese food stores owned by so we don't own nothing in our community. So a lot of what I've been doing recently is just really pushing people to incorporate their businesses, get your LLC, really build Black businesses. I'm now going to incorporate, and I want to I hope we can continue this conversation, because I think there's more that we can be doing. When I think, this conversation made me reflect also, right? A lot of times you see me just like this because I'm processing and reflecting. In my space and in my circle, we protect Black women. But now how do we get that to expand? How do we get that to reach different areas, right? Because me and my few friends, cool, that's fine. But when you think about Christianity, right? You ain't trying to reach the people in your church. Who you want to reach? The people outside the church, right? So my mind is really now gearing towards how do we extend this conversation in a way that promotes healing, supports Black women, and then gets to the root of the issue. But in addition to getting to the root, coming up with real solutions. So I really hope there's a part 2 to this conversation where we can really discuss hardcore solutions, right? And not conversations, because we can have these conversations, but if there's no solutions or platforms coming from it, then it's pretty much void. So you can find me on Facebook, find me on Instagram. I'm here.
What is your name?
My name is Ishmael Hall. So, find me, hit me up. It's just Ish_1 on IG. And, get me in a conversation about the church, and you'll really see me heated.
Yeah. So don't Dwayne, don't get rid of them. I want them here for the benediction. I just want to thank, I just want to once again thank y'all so much. Thank everybody that tuned in, everybody that gave their comments, their concerns, everybody who shared, who liked, who posted. We're definitely going to continue this conversation. I definitely want to team up with Brittany and Portia. B, I know you still in VA, but we can still do stuff. And I really want this to be
always in New York. Always.
Good, because I need a new wardrobe too.
I want this to be an expansion.
Hit me up.
Of Black Lives Matter. We definitely have to take care of our queens. We have to take care of our daughters, our nieces, our sisters, our wives, and this definitely opened up a new thing of being protection. And now I know when I walk the street, I'm gonna just hit Brittany and Portia in my head if I see somebody going like, nigga, don't do that. So,
Stop objectifying that woman.
Don't do that. Right. So, and I just want to shout out this queen, my wife, who has some shirts gifted to be shifted. She designed it. She did my logo. She did my artwork for my new single. Get ready, go get that. And she has some other stuff coming out. So definitely shout out. My baby is on here. With her bonnet.
Hi.
Yeah. So thank you so much again, Raw and Uncut, where we have the uncomfortable conversations and make them comfortable. This Sunday, I'm actually going to be on with Overseer Robert Jordan. We had an uncomfortable conversation, and due to my passion, so I'm gonna be on his show Sunday. Brittany and Portia, we're gonna do this again, but next Thursday is gonna be an amazing show. I have Bishop Geronimo Seabrooks and Bishop Eric Figueroa coming on, and we're talking about bridging the gap. We're still talking about racial injustice. No issue, not coming on that show. I see.
Oh, you know I'm gonna be in the comments. Don't worry, I'm gonna be in the comments. Don't worry.
You're a little too excited, but please keep tuning in. Support my sisters. You need consulting on anything, please holla at Brittany. Go check out my sis Portia's
writing,
her blogs, and her Facebook statuses. Follow her. She's gonna leave you thinking. She's gonna leave you thinking. And please, bro Ish. We out of here. Thank you so much. We are over time, but this was a dope show. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.